Take advantage of the intriguing role that audiobooks play. Discover why authors should embrace audiobooks format as a powerful tool for reaching a wider audience. Get ready for captivated by the world of audiobooks and the trends shaping its future. My name is Dennis Schleicher, and I'm associate literary agent with Talcott Notch Literary, LLC, located in Connecticut. I'm coming to you from Glastonbury, and I'm excited to share this ever-changing trends as today some numbers were just released. And I want you to be aware and have an open mind when you're listening to this. In an ever-evolving digital landscape dominated by short, snackable videos, there has been a notable surge in the popularity of long-form audio content as a consumable, and people are demanding this. As we look at the numbers and the overwhelming volume of social media content, recent research conducted by Sonic Insights, a leading analytical firm specializing in audiobook industry, reveals that 61% of all surveyed Americans have indulged in the pleasure of audiobooks within the past year. Impressively, as another survey revealed, a significant majority of American audiobook enthusiasts, 83%, devoted for audiobooks between 1 and 10 hours per week their beloved audiobook experience. This analytics is renowned. It shows that the market research and the firm specializes in publishing insights for audiobook industries will continue to flourish and is expected to reach a surging wealth of approximately $35.5 billion by the year 2023. So I'm curious, are you somebody who is turning more to audiobooks? I'm going to go into statistics that show that audiobook listening far surpasses AM and FM radio as well as podcast, which I was shocked. Keen on understanding the listening habits and preferences of American audiobook aficionados. My friend Sandy says, I love audiobooks. I do too. And I'm the author of Izzy Nuts, Why Would a Gay Man Become a Member of the Church of Jesus Christ? And that's displayed right there. So if you haven't listened, there is a link below, and I would highly recommend you guys listening to it. It's a great read. It has over 250 reviews on Amazon. So audiobooks have constantly been expanding their foothold, their audio landscape, witnessing a remarkable 106% increase in overall listening time since the year 2017. When participants were asked to rank various audio experience, including music, podcast, AM or FM radio, and news, it was intriguing to note that audiobooks claimed the second spot in terms of overall preference for ranking higher than podcast, tailoring only behind music. The survey finding reveals that half of the audiobook enthusiasts, more than 50%, dedicate 1 to 4 hours per week to their cherished audio literature, while enthusiasts, 1/3, 33%, devoted 5 to 10 hours weekly to their immersing audiobook experience. When respondents were asked about the situations in which they were most likely to hit the play button on an audiobook, commuting, or traveling, emerged as a popular choice, with 63% indicating that they prefer to listen to audiobooks over movies. That, to me, is exciting news. It just shows that things are changing and that people aren't in the world of TikTok and where things have to be quick, 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 we still have people's interest that want to listen to long form content. They just may not want to watch long form content, which is understandable. Unsurprisingly, avid audiobook listeners exhibit a profound love for audio content in general. According to the Audio Publishers Association, those who engaged in audiobooks on a daily basis spent at least an additional 2 hours each day consuming other forms of audio content compared to the general population. Emerging as a primary reason for audiobook enthusiasts to opt for this format, 2/3 of the respondents in the survey talked about enjoying audiobooks, allowing them to experience their literature while having their hands free to tackle other tasks, i.e. cleaning, cooking, dishes. They can just plug in their earphones and go. This is a great example of not underestimating the power of audiobooks, because this survey shows that there's a huge increase for this. This includes individuals with visual impairments, those who struggle with extended periods of sitting, holding a book, or individuals with attention span difficulties. Audiobooks serve as a valuable resource emerging them to immerse themselves in a book despite the challenges associated with their reading methods. Now, this played a particular, it resonated with me, and I'll tell you why. I'm dyslexic, but I'm dyslexic in doing. And as a child, I always loved listening. So I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to do magic shows. And as a young kid, I did. I went to the Louis Tannen. I studied with David Copperfield, actually. As a kid, I was only a teenager, and I went to upstate New York for a week every summer, and I would study with the best musicians in the world, and I learned the sleight of hand. But when I would buy magic tricks, I would have my father or a friend read the instructions in a cassette tape. And I would listen to that cassette tape until I wore it out over and over, practicing the sleight of hand and the card tricks, or listening to the spiel of how to get that going. And I would memorize it. And when I was on a soap opera, when I was a child and on a soap opera as a kid, my tutor would read my scripts into a cassette tape, and I would listen to those over and over and over again to memorize my scripts, to memorize my lines on the soap opera in New York City. So this is proof that audiobooks serve to help people with disabilities, or have attention span issues, or are ADHD, attention deficit disorder, or deal with any type of impairment that allows them that's difficult for them to stay focused. In this rapidly evolving media landscape, authors looking to publish their works should seriously consider leveraging the audiobook format as a valuable addition to their repertoire. The audiobook format represents a unique opportunity to reach a broader audience and provide alternative reading experiences that is inclusive of individuals who may find traditional reading methods challenging, like myself. Now, as a literary agent, when I read a manuscript, I read it and I also listen to it from my MacBook or my iPad Pro. And I can pick up on certain things that may be incorrect, or may be redundant, or using the same word in a paragraph on multiple times, and seeing if there's ways to change that. Then I can make notes. So I am using my disability as a device that actually allows me to succeed Increasingly, interestingly, the survey also highlights an intriguing aspect. Nearly 60% of all listeners admitted to using audiobooks to disconnect from other forms of what's going on in life. That means turning on the audiobooks, listening to it while they're driving, not worrying about what's going on around them, or they may be in a crowded space or taking a train into work and they don't want to listen to the hustle and bustle around them. So they're listening with their iPods or their earpieces, and they're listening to audiobooks as a way of tuning out the distractions, the noises behind them. With that being said, as we continue to evolve and of the AI, artificial intelligence, reading for audiobooks, I think the industry is going to become increasingly more aware of the fact that people can take advantage of this situation, especially as Apple Books and Google Play Books have already emerged. AI narration allowing publishers to create digital narrated books using text-to-speech technology. And I want to say thank you for tuning in. My name is Dennis Schleicher. I'm an associate agent with Talcott Notch Literary, LLC. I want to get to your comments, but I need to read them from my iPad or my MacBook Pro. Sandy, thank you for that. It's an easier read. I love your book. I donated one to our library. Woohoo! I love that. My friend Karen says, I prefer to read unless the audiobook is my native language. No matter how good you speak and understand a foreign language, the information processing time increases, making it an easier read. That is a great point, Karen, and I like that you brought that up because myself, sometimes I have to pause, rewind. I have a hard enough time knowing English, never alone English as my second language. It's not, it's my first language, but for you, it's your second language, if I remember correctly. And Karen also says, this is interesting, thank you. Well, thank you so much for engaging. If you have comments, you can post them once this is uploaded live, and I'd be happy to answer them. Bye for now.